Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to have you join me for dinner. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Azure Security. So I'm sure that you will agree with me that security is a very, very important aspect of anything that we do, not just the cloud. So let's move ahead and see what surprises Module 4 has for us. Are you ready? Yes, I'm sure that you are. Okay, so in Module 4, we shall look at security features. We shall look at network security features as well. So let's just go right in. Okay, so it's broken down into two security tools and features. So let's talk about that first. Okay, so the very first part, we're going to look at Azure Security Center, which is now Microsoft Defender for Cloud. We'll look at the policies and compliance. We'll look at security alerts, secure score, resource hygiene, Azure Sentinel, Key Vault, dedicated host. Okay, so now what is Microsoft Defender for Cloud? Remember, I don't know if I've said this, but okay, it used to be Azure Security Center. Okay, the name got changed to Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So it's a monitoring service that provides threat protection across both your on-premise and your workload that you have in the cloud. Okay, so to give you a recommendation, okay, it will tell you about your readiness to mitigate the issues around you, okay, with regards to your workload. So and it will give you what they call a secure score. So secure score is your readiness, okay. Secure score would actually give you what they call secure. It will tell you about your security posture, okay. So to detect and block malware, it will analyze and identify potential attacks, and it will also gives you just-in-time access for your port. So there's one thing I'd like you to do, guys. So for every of these dinners that we'll be having, for every of the classes, if I go to the portal to do anything, okay, so if you're watching this later, I'd like you to pause and just try to follow along. If you do follow along, the concept will stick better. Okay, so let's move now to what let's move to our walkthrough. So we've been asked to launch Microsoft Defender for Cloud. We're going to view all the options for compliance. We're going to review secure score. We're going to set a security alert and take a look at the recommendations for good resource hygiene. Okay, sorry, we've not actually done the walkthrough. So I'm going to go back to Azure Portal. So my browser is here. Okay, so my browser is here. I'm just going to close every other distraction. So I'm gonna close every other distraction. So the good thing to do, when you're searching for anything on the cloud, is just to type the name of that thing. So what we are doing now is to type Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay, so I've not finished it, brought it up, but if I type it fully, like I said, the one that is grayed out will always be the best suggestion. Defender for Cloud. Okay, so you can see it's grayed out. There's a gray color on it, so I'm just going to click on it. So you can do this, or just come to the hamburger icon and scroll through till you find the name. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. So we've been asked to explore it, look at the compliance options that we have. So for compliance, okay, regulatory compliance. Okay, so let's just click on compliance. So okay, so manage compliance policies. We were not asked to manage, we were asked to look at the offerings. So yeah, let's see what Microsoft has with regards to compliance. So let's open. It's taking a while. What's this? Okay, so I'm going to show you something about that later. Maybe I close it for now. Okay, so compliance offerings include various assurances, including formal certifications and attestation produced by independent third-party audit firms, as well as self-assessed assessments produced by Microsoft. So here you can see, I'm sure that you know all this ISO 2000, blah, 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 all this ISO stuff. Okay, they're saying that App Service has that certification. Okay, so let's just click on ISO. You see, so Okay, so it's a premium international standard of business continuity that provides formal certification. It specifies blah 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 blah. You can see. Okay, it means that what this means is that Microsoft has done their work well. They are in compliance with every law to make sure that that thing that they are providing to you is of the highest standard and quality. Okay, so that's what. So you see, for payment card industry, they have their own. So assuming it's something, so all of them, so we have so many. So let's not waste time because we have a lot on our hands. So we look at the compliance offering. So assuming that we want to manage compliance. Oh, okay, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at what. Okay, for this account, it's saying that I have. Okay, I'm actually, there are recommendations from Microsoft. Okay, it's only two here that I'm seeing that my account is complying with. So it means I'm falling short of all these other ones. So I need to take action. Okay, so you've seen that. So let's look at something else with regards to what we're asked to do. Okay, we're asked to look at security posture. So let's click on security posture. Security posture. So security posture tells you about your readiness with regards to your workload against potential threat. So secure score of 35 is super low. Okay, you're not supposed to have a secure score of 35. Okay, before this class, I clicked on alert. Okay, so it was actually 80. So when I clicked on after I clicked on sampled alert, it reduced to 35. Okay, so it's good to have a score 50 and above, but the ID score would actually be 80. Okay, so we've looked at this. Another thing that, okay, we've looked at our secure score 35. So let's look at alert. We're asked to configure alert. So security alerts. Okay, so before now, I came to this account and if your account is fresh, all you just need to do is create a sample alert and it would do all this for you. So I didn't have all this, so this is their sample alert. So if we click, so red is, okay, if we click on any of them now, any of the samples, okay, if we view details, you see all the things that they are asking us to do. Okay, this is sample alert, blah 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 blah. Okay, supposed to take action. If we take action, we can actually take action. Okay, where's the take action button? I'm not seeing it. Okay, so let's move ahead, guys. We have a lot on our plate. So we've seen secure score. We've seen the alert thing. Okay, we've seen the alert thing. Okay, sample alerts. So we can actually okay, so let's do for Key Vault. So, yeah. Okay, let me leave it. I don't wanna do any other thing. So let's look at one more thing before we leave this place. We're asked to check the health. Okay, if we check health, means we check recommendations. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, one good thing about Microsoft Defender for Cloud, Microsoft is not stingy. Okay, it can monitor your workload from other clouds like your AWS, your Azure. So if your company is operating a multi-cloud, you can connect them to it, and it would view and tell you any best practice, any recommendation, or if there is going to be a security attack or a security breach on your account, it will tell you about it. Okay, so you can see here, it said unhealthy, 16 unhealthy virtual machines. Okay, so let's see. Oh, guys, this is a lot. Okay, money. Okay, so actually, okay, let me tell you one other thing. Okay, why would it be able to monitor your on-premise workload? You need to actually install a monitoring agent in those virtual machines. So if you install the monitoring agent on the virtual machine, it will bring telemetry on everything. So I think that these VMs they are seeing here, I've uninstalled them. So I've uninstalled them. They are not existing. Let me see. I'm trying to see if they really exist. Is this VM? I thought I deleted these VMs. Okay, so we can actually okay, it's existing. I think I created it this morning. Okay, so let's not waste too much time on this. So in summary, let me not overwhelm you with too many information. Okay, in summary, for you to be able to get Azure Defender for Cloud to monitor anything for you, okay, you need to install a monitoring agent. Okay, so let's take action. Let's go back to our slide. I told you I've deleted this VM, so I'm surprised that the resource is not available. I deleted them. So I'm surprised it was showing me this. I knew that they're not available. So let's move ahead quickly. Okay, so we saw we launched the security center by searching for it. We look at the compliance offering. We reviewed our secure score. Mine was 38 before I created sample alert. Mine was 80 after I created sample alert. Dropped down to 35. It's asking me to take action on so many things. Okay, set a security alert. I could not do this because I didn't see the button. I already set it. That's why you're seeing all those recommendations. Okay, so explore resource hygiene. These are just recommendations. So let's move ahead. I think we've fulfilled the requirements for this walkthrough. So next, you see that with Security Center or with Microsoft Defender for Cloud, remember guys, I didn't change the name because I want you to get used to the fact that it used to be Security Center and it's now Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So I want you to get used to that fact in case you see it somewhere else. Okay, so now few things it will do for you. It will make sure that you comply with policies. It will run all the workloads and everything. Make sure that you are obeying what you're supposed to obey, or you're doing what you're supposed to do. Continuous assessment. It assesses your new workload and your deploy workload to make sure that everything is configured properly. To give you recommendations. It will analyze and warn you about threats. You saw the high level severity that we had. Okay, so what is Azure Sentinel? Okay, so I like this one a lot because this one would actually go through everything, collect everything, analyze everything, check everything, and if there is an abnormal behavior, it would take action by itself. Okay, so I remember when I was in the university, there is this group of people that like let me not that's a nasty example. Let me not say anything nasty, but the truth about it is you asked not to watch certain things on the company's network because certain websites would make certain, so you don't, with something like Sentinel, you do not even need to do anything because to analyze everything, and if there is anyone that is wanting to, it would like take action by itself. So it's a security information and management system, okay, SIM, and it's an automated response solution. Okay, it responds automatically and it provides security analytics and threat intelligence against the entire enterprise. Okay, you can connect your Microsoft 365 Azure Active Directory. There's a little error with that. It's Active Directory, advanced threat protection, and every other thing that is Azure. Okay, so that it will collect, analyze. If there's anything that it knows that is not supposed to be, it will inform, it will take action. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, what is Key Vault? Okay, I'm sure that you've seen in the movie, someone goes to the bank, he has a gold bar, he opens a safe, okay, keeps the gold bar inside, maybe he has a gun, gun, yeah, in America you can own gun. He owns a gun and when he goes keep it in the bank, in a vault. Okay, so the same way bank is with vaults, or even money. Okay, money in bank vaults, like those movies that we used to watch. You see, you have to open a vault to those criminal movies. Okay, the criminals need to open the vault and get access to the cash. Okay, so as a vault is to banks, that's how a vault is to Azure. It helps you to store your secrets, your keys, and your certificate. Okay, I'd like you to take note of secret, key, and certificate. And there's another thing that is it stores hardware security modules, HSM. Okay, but there are two tiers in Key Vault: standard and you know, there are two tiers. It's only the premium, okay, standard and premium. It's only the premium that will store your hardware security model, okay. So modules, okay. So the standard will store your secret. You can use your standard tier for your secret keys and certificates. So I'd like you to just take note of this. You might not just see this when you're starting to create a key vault, only when you have or a premium tier. That's when you will see the final one, the hardware security module. Okay, so let's move ahead and see what the next slides have in store for us. Okay, so at this point we're gonna do a walkthrough, and we're gonna talk about the we're gonna do a walkthrough and see how to create a key vault. We're gonna add a secret to it. So let's go to Azure Portal. This is Azure Portal. So like you want to create a key vault, you just need to search for it. Key vault. You see, it's already grayed out. No, there is. Use the space. Okay, so it's already grayed out, as you can see. I'm just going to click on it. Okay, it's taking a while to boot. I mean, to come up, not to boot. Connection error. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I had some little network issues, but I'm fully back now. So what I did earlier was to search for key vault in a search bar, and the next thing is just to click on create. So click on create to let you click on create. So I have one I can use as a demo, but I want you to understand and follow through. So you have a resource group. Just give it a name. I call it dinner key. Okay, so I'm just gonna review and create straight away. So like I said earlier, one of the ways that you will gain from this is to get a trial account and just try to follow through. Okay, so it has validated. I'm just get a trial account, and when you need to pause the video and just try to follow through. I think you'll be all right. So it's the deployment is in progress. This might take another 1 or 2 minutes. So let's just wait for it. So the deployment is complete, and we have our key vault ready. So you can see that the objects that we have is the key, secret, and certificate. So I think I was too fast when I was creating the key vault. If not, I would have shown you that you only use the standard tier for HMS, but I think I can easily show you that here. So it asks us to create a secret. So let's add on secret. So while the secret is loading, I'm going to show you that. So you can see from the pricing tier, okay, you see we have the premium. Premium includes support for hardware security module backed. So you understand, okay? So the standard ones are for the ones that we are seeing now, keys, secret, and certificates. Okay, but if you want to talk about hardware security model, it has to be premium. Okay, so let's assume that. Okay, choose a resource group, put it different place. So let's assume we're creating. Okay, I didn't add a name. Okay, so I just random name. So let's create our key. This is what we're asked to do. It has generated a name for me. I'll just go with it. Assuming you want to activate it on today and you want it to expire 2024, yes, you can just click on the date. You can configure it. Just create. This is what we were asked to do. Okay, why did this fail? Okay, the name is already taken. Okay, so should create now. Okay, so we have fulfilled the requirement for this walkthrough because we were asked to create a key vault and we were asked to create a secret. So the same way we created a secret, we can create for key and certificates. So I'm gonna leave this alone because this thing, the other one I'm doing is not required. That's we fulfilled the requirement for this particular lecture, this particular walkthrough. So remember that there are two types of recovery options. One is soft delete, one is purged. So soft delete is automatically enabled, purge is disabled. The soft delete, what it means that even if I delete this thing, if I delete it, it doesn't go away immediately, because soft delete is automatically enabled. Okay, so I'm going to just delete it. So if I delete it, you can see that I can actually restore it within 90 days. Okay, so the minimum time, the minimum time is okay, so delete. Okay, so if it's deleted, you can always find it in manage. Yeah, you see, we have it here. Okay, purge is not enabled, but soft delete is enabled. Okay, so we didn't, yeah, so yeah, let's quickly move ahead. Let's leave this alone. We fulfilled the requirement for this. So we created a secret, a key vault. We added a secret to the key vault. Let's move ahead. Okay, what is dedicated host? So for dedicated host, you're just telling Microsoft that, so Microsoft, please, the servers that we're using for our workload, we'd like to have more control over them. We do not want any other person to run their workload on those servers. That's just what you're telling Microsoft. Okay, you want to have more control at the server level. You want to have isolated and kept for only your workload. You want to have control over the maintenance. Oh, Microsoft, please do not maintain that server tomorrow. Do not maintain it in the next 1 week. Microsoft will listen to you. Okay, so it aligns with hybrid benefits in the sense that you can use your license that you have existing with what with that server, and you get some massive amount of discount. Okay, so let's go to the next part of the lecture. We're going to be talking about defense in depth, network security group, Azure Firewall, and Azure DDoS protection. Okay, so what is defense in depth? So it's a layered approach to securing computer systems. Okay, it provides multiple layers of protection. Let me explain it this way. Okay, you probably know of an onions. You've seen an onions. Okay, so for onions, you remember that you need to peel the brownish. Is it brown? It's pinkish. Is it pink? No, it's not pink. It's purple. You need to peel the purplish skin out of it first. Then the next thing you're going to see, you have layers until you get to the middle of the onions that has one small little bulb. Okay, so let's assume that bulb is the data. So what Microsoft is telling you is that, okay, and everything that you store in Azure, okay, is super secure. Okay, this is not just a Microsoft concept, it's a cloud native concept actually. Okay, so for cloud native concept, it means that the cloud is outside, your data is in the innermost part, okay, and other things are in between. So Microsoft is saying that your data is super secure, because before before a breach gets to your data, it needs to fight and overthrow what is in the other layers, the security layer, identity. Just imagine that. Okay, let me give for example this computer that you're using to attend this lecture. Okay, so your application is probably YouTube, not probably, your application is YouTube, and the data is this lecture. Okay, so before you get to this data, you need to actually go enter the compound, the premises. Okay, like this place I'm delivering this lecture from, there's a gate. Okay, you need to open the door or ask the gate man to open the door for you. Okay, you need to identify yourself if you're a stranger. Okay, then there's a perimeter wall around the building. Okay, there's a wall, the four corners. Okay, then there's internet that you can use before we can access anything we're doing. Then there's your compute, or your computer and your compute, your whatever, then the YouTube itself, then before this lecture. So you see that there are different stages, different layers. So I'm just giving you an example. That's how it is in the cloud. Okay, so you have a layered approach to securing everything. Okay, so there's multiple levels of protection. The attack against one layer is not an attack against the data. So you see that the data, you need to fight everybody before you get to the data. So let's move ahead and see what other thing. that way. So I'm sure that you might have seen the shared, you might remember the shared responsibility model from lecture 1, from our dinner 1. Okay, so for that one, we did something like this, but in this particular case, we see that we're migrating from customer controlled cloud data center, because in your cloud data center, in your data center, your on-premise data center, remember that you bought everything. You paid for the building, you paid for the computers, you paid for the server, so you have total control. Okay, so but when it comes to the cloud, okay, there are certain things that are your responsibilities, and there are certain things that are the responsibilities of the cloud provider. So the yellow is for Microsoft, the light blue is shared, and the gray is for the customer. Okay, so we've seen this before, so I'm sure that you will not have any problem understanding this. So it's like the shared responsibility model that we talked about in module 1. So let's move ahead and see what other interesting stuff module 4 has for us. So network security group. So network security groups help us to filter traffic to an Azure resource. Okay, let me give a real life scenario. Okay, so let's say you want to go and see the president. Okay, you can't just get to meet the president like that. Okay, because his bodyguards will not let you. Okay, so let's say that those bodyguards are an additional protection against any harm that would happen to the president. Assuming the president is in this particular place now, it might be standing here, but you might not be able to reach him because those bodyguards are protecting him. So that's how a network security group is. So the bodyguards can actually, if he says yes, can actually access you and approve and let you talk to him, or they can deny you access to him. So network security groups use inbound and outbound rules to filter by source destination, IP address, port, protocols. So they will do everything to check if you are allowed, you are supposed to have that permission to talk to the president or not, or to interact with the Azure resource or not. So by default, Azure applies baseline security rules to every network security group. So it overrides default rules with new and higher priority. So I hope that you understand the basic concept. So let's move ahead. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to give you I'm going to open my browser and show you an example. Okay, so what is an Azure Firewall? So an Azure Firewall is a managed firewall as a service that grants or denies access based on originating IP address so as to protect your network resources. So let's go back to the browser. I'm going to show you something so that you understand this clearly. So I'm going to show you jcpenny.com. okay, it's a website. So let's see what is going to happen. Remember what that firewall does. It denies or allows based on originating IP. Okay, so network is slow, it's loading so slow. So while we wait for it to load, I'll go back to the lecture slide and see what other. So it has built inbound and outbound traffic filtering. Okay, it can filter traffic. Okay, inbound, the one that is coming in; outbound, the one that is going out. Okay, it has built-in high availability. Unrestricted cloud scale. It can scale. Okay, unrestricted. It uses Azure Monitor for login. So okay, so now Azure Application Gateway provides a firewall. Okay, so web application firewall. So okay, let's check back so that you understand it better. Now this is actually what I'm trying to show to you. Okay, this is actually what I was trying to show to you. Now this website, they used our IP address to my IP. I'm sure that you will experience the same thing too, because you are in Nigeria. So they use my IP address to tell me that I'm not legible to access this website. Okay, but Amazon does not have that restriction though. So so Amazon, you can see Amazon open. Amazon does not have that restriction. So if it's Amazon, I can shop. Okay, but for this one, you can see that they restricted me. So the same they're using what we just saw in the slide is what is being put into practice. They're probably using Azure maybe or something another solution with another cloud provider that's similar to what we're just talking about. So this company used the filtering rules in they use filtering rules to determine that we're not browsing from America. Okay, they only want Americans to shop, or maybe probably they blocked us because Nigerians have this history of fraud and scam and all that. So they want their shoppers to shop with confidence. So let's look back at it. Look at the definition. It grants or denies server access based on originating IP address in order to protect network devices. So I hope that with that example I showed to you, you understand the concept. So WAF, web application firewalls, also does the same thing. Okay, it has inbound protection for apps. Okay, so for apps, when it comes to apps, we have WAF. Okay, web application firewall. Then for generally, Azure Firewall will do what I just showed you a few minutes ago. So let's look at the next slide and see. Okay, so this one is very interesting. Azure distributed denial of service protection. Now, before we talk about this, you need to understand what a distributed denial of service is. What is a distributed denial of service? So assuming that you have a computer and that computer is providing something is providing a type of service, and that computer is the one that is housing all those information, that is actually what is called a server. Okay, you that is trying to get into that computer, you are a client. Okay, just like this website we tried to access just now. Okay, we are the client, the one that denied us. Okay, so that's wherever they hosted their stuff is, that's the server. So now for distributed denial of service, just imagine that server, maybe that server has a capacity of 10,000 customers. Okay, so if with 10,000 customers accessing the service, it will work normally. But if at the point a group of malicious people, bad actors, decide, okay, let's try to overwhelm the traffic of these people. Let's log in with 50,000 servers at the same time. So 50, definitely that server is going to crash, because the number of the traffic coming in is more than what it can withstand. So that's what actually distributed denial of service is all about. They just try to overwhelm the server, okay, and the network resources to make it slow and unresponsive. So what Azure distributed denial of service protection will do for you, even before the attacker tries to get in, it will like sanitize the traffic, and it will make everything okay, because automatically the basic TI is enabled in Azure. Okay, so quite interesting. So when you are running your workload in Azure, you don't have any issues of distributed denial of service, because basic TI is automatically enabled. So I hope that you understand that concept. So let's move ahead. Okay, so now with network security group, I explain it my own way, and I hope that you understand it. With Azure Firewall, you can see that the perimeters would be a little bit, not a little bit, would be stronger. Okay, so the perimeter layers protect your network boundaries with Azure DDoS protection and firewall. So in the network layer, permits traffic between network resources and network security group, inbound and firewall rules. So yes, things are super secured in Azure. Okay, so oops, okay, we've come to the end of the lecture. It's a little bit fast today. Okay, so what before I go off, I'd like to ask you a few questions. What is the purpose of having a defense in depth? Okay, so I used onions to give you an illustration of how how your data is in the middle. Then I use a compound. Okay, assuming you're entering from the gate until you log into YouTube and you start watching this. I use that as an example. So what is the purpose of having that kind of defense for your application with regards to cloud resources? Now, I want to ask you another question. Okay, so there is a potential. So I'd like you to make this more interactive. You can put it in the comment section. Okay, there is a a potential threat to your Azure infrastructure from an outside attacker, okay, which service is best for detecting the threat and taking action? Remember the word, it detects and it takes action. So we talked about it in the lecture. So if you don't get it, still go back and try to read again, try to listen, and answer the question. So what is a distributed denial of service? So at this point, we've come to the end of the lecture. We've come to the end of our dinner. Okay, I hope to see you tomorrow, same time. Okay, bye for now, guys. See you tomorrow.